So if I have $500 right now, what coin would I buy? What coin would I invest in? This is the number one question that I've been getting. Probably say since I've been in crypto. A lot of people always come to 500 is usually the magic number that everybody has. Like, I got $500 right now. What should I buy? Now I'm leaning a little bit towards more XRP than Bitcoin, and we'll talk about it. Don't get mad. I am a Bitcoin maximalist when it comes to holding long-term saving in Bitcoin and things like that. But if you have been watching me over the past couple months, if you haven't, I'll tell you, I have started to allocate some of my long-term bags into XRP. So one thing that has been circulating around social media is XRP the best buy for $500 today? Me, I don't know if it's the best buy, but I do think it's a good buy. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit. Then we're going to talk about XRP price analysis. We're going to look at what happened over the weekend, XRP, and how we can recover from where we at and where we look to go if the overall market can remain a little bit bullish as it's been over the past 24 hours. So this is coming from MSN.com. So this is the mainstream. This is mainstream media. This is MSN.com. It says, is XRP the best buy for 500 today? So it says a popular post was doing rounds on social media last week talking about is XRP the best for 500. It sparked both excitement and outrage, which anytime you talk about XRP, no matter what side of the fence you are on, you are going to upset somebody and you are going to make somebody happy. So it's definitely something that will spark excitement and outrage no matter which side of the spectrum you are on. But it raised an important question whether XRP truly ready for its moment. Me personally, before we go into any deeper, I think it is. Let's move forward. It says Ripple's long-running legal battle with the SEC is finally approaching its end. It's set to be done. All the legal appeals are set to be dismissed by August 15th. So I think that's like about 10, 11 days from now. So we all knew this was coming after a certain amount of time at the end of 2024 or mid 2024. We kind of knew that, XRP was kind of in the clear. But then when Trump got elected and he was pro crypto, we knew this was something that was going to come forward. So this really wasn't too much or isn't too much of a shock, but it is, legally. And when somebody does their due diligence, they won't see that the SEC still has appeals and all type of things going on with them. So that is a plus if you want to look at it like that. But it says at the same time, Ripple's CTO David Schwartz is leading new upgrades to the XRP ledger, XRPL, aiming to increase developer engagement and throughput by migrating a new architecture built on the Rust programming language. So that's tech-wise, that will be good. XRP is very good for sending and receiving money. Very fast, very cheap, very efficient. It has been working with banks. It's in the banking sector, so it has those relationships when it comes to long-standing, what's the word that I'm looking for? A long-standing relationship when it comes to its reputation. A lot of people don't like XRP because they think it's a banker's coin. They think it goes along or goes against everything crypto was made to be. But I mean, welcome to crypto now. Like, we just have to accept the new reality of crypto. And this is what it's going to be for the foreseeable future. They've come and infiltrated crypto. So we got to get in where we fit in. But let's wrap this up. It says XRP, they give some key data and some price analysis, some technical analysis talking about, its price rise. XRP's long-term holders, also known as holders, are growing in number. And we'll end with this. It says Glassnode's data shows a steady rise in the number of wallets holding XRP over 2 years. I've been holding mine since 2020, so that's 5 years, approaching 5 years, especially since early 2024. And I think that's when the SEC thing started to really fizzle out. It says some addresses even held more than 7 years, signaling deep-rooted confidence in the asset. The increased holding or HODL trend suggests XRP investors aren't just in it for quick flips. They're betting on long-term value, especially as Ripple reestablishes itself on firmer regulatory ground. So I do think that I think if you have $500 and you wanted to put it in one thing, I think XRP, you can't go wrong with XRP. I'm just going to lay it all on the line. I think XRP is a good buy. I think XRP is a good buy and hold. I think XRP is going to appreciate. Where are we at right now? About $3. I had a target of like 8 to 10, but that's just midterm. Long term, who knows how high it can go. But I think it would be good to incorporate Bitcoin into that as well. So if you have 500, maybe 300 or 250 or 300, 200, however you want to split it. But I do think XRP should be in that conversation. A lot of Bitcoin maximalists are going to be mad, but I mean, XRP has stood the test of times. XRP is going to be around for the foreseeable future. And I think XRP is a good long-term, short-term, mid-term hold. If the market starts to flip, if the market starts to get bearish, then of course it's going to sell off. But we know how this story ends. We know the inevitable price appreciation of how these top cryptos are going to play out. And XRP is going to be one of the top. So let's talk about XRP. Technical analysis right now, prices came down to about $2.70, 72 cents over the weekend. And we had that bounce as Bitcoin got its bounce from 112K. So what we're looking at right now, I already drew this out because I'm looking for a trade. This is the next trade that I'm looking for. And these are the next levels that I'm looking for XRP. So $3, we got back above that $3. This was one of the pivotal levels that I've been looking at. You can see we have all this price action going backwards. We tested it here. We were using it as resistance over the weekend, came down, retested it, used it as resistance, used it as support earlier today, used it as support all the way back here. So it's just, if you go back in time, you'll see all this price action around this $3 area. So this is a very, very, very key level that I want to hold. And what I want to see happen for me to enter a trade or for me to try to, I'm just accumulating XRP. I'm accumulating XRP, anything under or around $3, under $3. I'm accumulating. We bought a little bit more last week. I'm looking for another retest of possibly this $3 area. So if we do this, I'm actually on a 15-minute just to give us a little bit of a zoomed in view. I would want to see something like this to take a trade. If Bitcoin can continue its ascension higher, I think we can do something like this possibly and just ride this trend. Oh, let me do that again. I'm sorry. If we can just ride this trend up, there we go. I think we can have a very, very, very good move going back above this $3.10. If we get back above 310, I think we can start. That would mean probably that the market is really starting to heat back up. And I think we can get this move coming in from about 310, moving our way back to resistance, coming in at about $3.40, which will be a good trade, an amazing trade. And I think it will happen fairly quick, of about 9 to 10%, depending on where you get your entry. So I think XRP is a good long-term hold. I think XRP is one of the best coins you can trade. It's been respecting these levels very well. And I think XRP is a good short-term hold as well. If you get in, let's say you got in around $3, I think if the bull run continues, if the bull run plays out the way I think it will play out, I don't think it's going to go to those crazy numbers, those those 100, 200, 300, 1,000. Some people have all these crazy numbers, but I do think it can 3x. What's this? 3, 6, 9, 4x. That would be tough in this type of environment with so many cryptos, so much liquidity spread out, so much dilution. But short term, I can definitely see a 3x from here. So a $9 to $10 XRP if you wanted to just get some sort of a 2 or 3x coming from here. Long term, who knows how high I can go. I'm not going to give price predictions long term because fiat has no bottom. How does it go? Fiat has no bottom. So a lot of people say this for Bitcoin, but I'm going to equate it to XRP. Fiat has no bottom, so Bitcoin has no top. I'm going to equate that same thing to XRP because I think XRP is going to be around for the foreseeable future, along with Bitcoin, along with Ethereum, along with a few other coins that I think are not going anywhere. So as long as fiat has no bottom, these coins that stick around will have no top. So keep that in mind when you are investing. Keep that in mind when you have the ebbs and flows, the dips, the scary moments, just being things that have stood the test of times like XRP and that you have strong conviction that will be around for the long term, not just 1 year, 2 year. XRP has been around since like 2012 or 2014, something like that. So it's almost approaching a decade, if not past a decade that it's been out. So I'm very, very, very confident in XRP. And that's why I put it in my long-term bag along with Bitcoin. I'm saving in Bitcoin and I'm saving in XRP. The split is still heavy Bitcoin, but as the market keeps appreciating and as Bitcoin gets a little bit higher, starting to allocate a little bit more into XRP than Bitcoin as we move further along, because I think I can get more multiples, with XRP long term. So yeah, and I might put Ethereum back in there too. I hold a lot of Ethereum. Ethereum actually is my biggest bag, but I'm planning on selling it. I'm not planning on selling Bitcoin or XRP, but I may put Ethereum in that category as well too, because the big players are looking at Ethereum, of course, Bitcoin, and XRP, and those should be. I think that should be the top three, the three-headed monster of your portfolio going into the long term. So that's just my opinion, not financial advice. I go by FD White. Appreciate everybody for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe. Let's break that algorithm. Let's get the cool kids alpha out here. And I appreciate everybody for watching. Let's get this money. Talk to you in a minute. Peace.